Carrie and Ron Kelly are grieving parents looking for answers.
And I just tell her I love her. I tell her I love her and I miss her. And I always ask, why? Why? Why did you have to leave me?
Last year, a car crash left November Kelly in a Thunder Bay hospital with internal injuries. For the next 4 months, she complained to doctors in Fort Frances, an hour from her home on Onigaming First Nation, of worsening stomach pain.
It was hard for me to get her to go because of the way she was treated when she would go. She was visibly upset, and I asked her, what's wrong? I just got asked if I was a needle user, if I did drugs. And I was like, oh my God, why would they ask you that?
Feeling unheard and insulted, November was often sent home with pain and nausea medications. At one point, she was given a fiber supplement.
They just kept Band-Aid solutions, and they kept telling us she's okay.
Ultimately, an infection linked to a perforated bowel suffered in the crash killed her.
The health authority in Fort Frances tells Global News that they've launched a review. Kelly's family has filed a complaint with the Ontario College of Physicians and Surgeons, but Onigaming First Nations chief says that he doesn't need a formal report to confirm what many Indigenous Canadians say they've experienced for decades.
You're still treated like you're just an Indian in Canada, especially by the doctors and nurses. And until that changes, we're still going to see misdiagnosis.
The Indigenous Physicians Association agrees.
There is a lot of mistrust within the healthcare system, and rightfully so, from First Nations, Métis and Inuit towards the healthcare system.
Dr. Mandy Buss says anti-Indigenous bias continues in healthcare systems across the country.
We know these aren't unique, and we've heard of like Brian Sinclair and Joyce Echequan, but we don't hear of all the hundreds and thousands of cases that happen. And sometimes they don't lead to death, so they don't make it to media, but they lead to harm.
If she was just treated like a normal human being, she'd be alive today. And that's what we're fighting for, just the basics of humanity that most Canadians take for granted.
The Kellys say their daughter deserves justice.
Something very wrong seemed to have happened here. Medical care is a fundamental right shared by every single person, and it needs to be better. So where does this case rank? I'd say about on as low an end as I could think of.
Back in Onigaming, November's young son is growing up without her, and his sister still struggles to understand their mother's death.
She told me it was hard. I miss my mommy. I've tried to bring her up to the gravesite a few times, but she's not ready.
A family and community in mourning, wondering if Canada's healthcare system is ready to change. Melissa Ridgen, Global News, Winnipeg.